Hi, I hope you're well. In this video, what I want to do is I wanted to see if I could actually kind of speed up the creation of a data validation list even more and automate it a little bit more. So for this one, I decided to use some functions called unique and sort, which are new dynamic array functions. So let me just click here on my list function down here. Now, the unique function, what it does is essentially it looks at a list and extracts the list of unique entries from it. Okay, so I'll just go here. I will click on, let's say, come up to my formulas, and then I'll go down to my lookup and reference, scroll down to get unique. Okay, so the array that comes up, and really the only one I want for this one is just the array. So I just go to dynamic drop-down list, and I've decided I want to just use the store location. Okay, so I click here and I press Control Shift arrow down, and then I just press down Control Shift arrow down again. Okay, because I just want to make sure that as it kind of expands, that it goes through it. There we go. And I'm just going to click OK on that. I'm not going to do anything else. All right, you see there I have a list automatically of my things here, of the locations. And if I go back here to my dynamic drop-down list, Control and Home, look at my store location up here. Okay, you will see that in fact, there we go. I've got my 3 as is. Now, what I also want to do is I want to add something to this. A couple of things about the unique, what they call dynamic array functions, is that if I click on the first one, all right, see I go up here, you'll see it's kind of bold there so I can see it. But if I click on any other cell in it, if you look up here, this has kind of gone dim. So basically the only place you can edit these formulas is in the very first one. Okay? Because what it does, it returns an array, not a single cell. Now I also wanted to set this up so it would be sorted alphabetically. So I come up here to equals and unique, just type in sort, open my left bracket, and so you get a little pop down, I always like to think of this little teleprompter underneath it. Now the only thing I'm interested in is I just want to be sorted alphabetically, so I put in a comma. I don't need the sort index bit, comma, and then when it comes up sort order, I just put in 1 for ascending, and then I just close my brackets and I press enter. All right, you can see it's now sorted alphabetically. Now, the beauty of this is that if I go back here into my list, and let's say I'm going to change one of these to Galway, press enter, when I come back down into my list formula, see there, it's put Galway automatically in alphabetical order. However, what I want to do is I want to kind of combine this formula with my table so I can kind of link the two of them together. So I click over here, all right, and I just go equals, and I just click on this cell here. I just press enter, and then I just copy it down. Okay. There we go. So I've got this one here. So I'm just going to call this store location. And I'm going to make a table like I've done before. Draw it up here to insert. And I click on table, third from the left. And I'm going to leave it, I do want my table as headers, it does, and I want to leave that as 0 there for the time being, and I click OK. There we go. So now I have my drop-down list that I can use. Now, if I come back over here to my dynamic drop-down list, and let's say, all right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure I select this, and I'm going to give it a range name. So I come over here to my name box, and I'm just going to call it store location. Always a good idea maybe to give it the same names as your headings. Okay. So come to this one, my store location, make sure the whole thing is selected. Important. Come over here to my little name box. I just type in store location. Just press enter. Now I come back here to my little sheet down here, and then I click in store location. Okay, come back to this one, just go to click here, Control Shift arrow down. Okay, and then I come up here to data. And then I go to data validation. Go to data validation again. And from the drop down here, I choose list. Then press F3 on the keyboard to call it my range name. There's my store location. Click OK. And I can also say input message here. Please pick a location from the list. And then click OK. Okay, now let me just update this. So if when I click on the little drop down here, you can see there I've got them all. Now I have a store location here, which I don't want, and I have a 0 here, which I'll talk about in a second. So go back to my lists. Now when I click on the table here, and I just come up here to my table design, I can just tick the box that says header row. So I don't want that in it. Okay, so just tick that box. When I go back into my drop down over here, I look at my drop down up here. See there, kind of it's gone from it. Now I'm just going to update a value here. Okay. Now I've just updated a value here in this one. So let me go back into my lists. Okay. Now I should change that one. Let me undo that for a second. Change, let's say, choose another one so I can see Mayo. Press enter. Now I go here to my lists, and there's Mayo. And you see there, Mayo has just been added automatically to it, and it's listed alphabetically as well. I'll just go back. If I click on it, there's Mayo on it. Now what you do need to watch out for is that, for example, if it expands beyond that number, what you might need to do is you might need to kind of expand the table as well. Like if I come here and add in another one, so I'm just going to put in, let's say, Litrum, press enter. If I come back here into my lists, down at the bottom, Litrum is there, but you can see there it kind of hasn't included. So what I need to do is I then kind of need to expand. So you need to make sure you kind of expand the table as well. Right? So it might be a good idea even just to kind of expand the table at this point, so you give it a bit of room to maneuver. And if I go back into my lists, drop down, see then I don't have a bunch of zeros, but just have 1 0 at the end. Okay. All right, and if that bothers you, what you could do is you can come up here to this one and put in a little if function with the isBlank function. So if I click up here in this one, and I say if, open my left bracket, is blank, then close my brackets, comma, then I just put in quotation marks, space, quotation marks, close my brackets, otherwise it's going to be this one here, and close my brackets again. Now if I copy this down, okay, give myself a bit of room there, and see I don't have the is blank, just kind of that one on it. But if I copy, see there it's picked this up, but let's say for example if I come back here and add another named location, for example I'm going to just put in Sligo here, and then go to my list. You see there it's just picked up the Sligo automatically. Okay. All right, hope you've, and there's zeros there because what I've done is that when I did the drop down, I made sure it went all the way to the bottom, and that's why it's coming up with the recurring 0. All right. Okay, mind yourself. Hope you find this useful and take care. Bye.